Good day to you. My name is Maria Kądzielska and this is Put on Daily Culture. Do you know how a movie is made? Today we'll tell you the story how the new movie about Cardinal Wyszynski, The Prophet, was made, because with us is an absolute specialist in this field, Mateusz Pastewka, the cinematographer.
Yes,
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Well, actually, so the main person responsible for all the shoots and camera operating. We talked in the previous episodes a lot about how you are shooting those scenes. So let's right now switch to the topic of post-production, which seems like, I would say, neglected sometimes, but by the viewers, because they think, okay, the work is done when the set is over, but it doesn't seem like this.
No, the reality is so much different, to be honest. Actually, the actual what we call shooting, so the first shooting day and the last shooting day, this is the tiny process when you're talking about the whole filming. Actually, the longest part is always everything that is happening before the shooting and after the shooting, and this takes much more time than the actual rolling the camera. The pre-production is everything that is happening before. This is when you write the script, this is when you plan, you look for a location, you cast your actors, and you work and prepare for shooting. And post-production is everything that is happening after you finish. So the editing, sound design, color grading, special effects, sound mixing, etc. This can take sometimes, well, for a feature film, I would say that the average is around a year, probably. So that's actually quite a long time after you finish shooting when you think about it.
So you're shooting a year and a half. And then it comes an additional year of just post-production.
Well, normally it would work like this, but in Poland, films are shot very rarely for a year and a half. Normally they are shot in a window of 3 months, for example. Because we were shooting for such a long time, we had this comfort of actually working on some of the footage, some of the material that we shot. And we could start to edit. We could start to do the, the special effects on the footage that we had, even though we didn't finish the film yet. So our workflow is a little bit different than from a standard film, where you start your post-production after the shooting. We could actually do some work
in the middle.
Yes. So for us, the post-production can be shrinked into a period of 6 months, probably. Yeah, we're actually right now in the post-production phase, where the film is already edited. It's almost, the grading, the color grading is almost finished. The special effects are done. The music, I think, is done as well. But it's just right now we're putting everything together for the final thing.
Final effect, yes. As it looks like. But talking also about a historical aspect of all of this, and the fact that you are shooting about a person who lived not so far a year ago. I mean, in Cardinal Wyszynski, there are people who met him, there are people who know him, there are people who remember him. So there are people also who can watch this movie and say, okay, this wasn't really how I remember it. Or did you actually have any objects from the time of original one who belongs, or ropes, or objects, or other elements, artifacts which belongs to the Wyszynski originally?
The first scene that is in the film is happening in Komańcza, which was the place where Wyszynski was held as a prisoner for a few years, and we were shooting in the actual location there. And over there is a room with his belongings, which is basically, this place right now is like a museum, right? So people can go there and read about his story, see his office and all his belongings. These things are locked up, and we were not allowed to use them because they are artifacts. So filmmakers are not allowed to use them. We are allowed to photograph and copy them, ask our prop masters to do the same things, or our costume designers and so on.
See, so you need to make the copy.
Well, yes, of course. I'm very happy about this because I know how filmmakers work. Exactly, we mess things up. That tends to happen. So
And that was like,
never trust a filmmaker with the actual artifact.
oh, that's actually very good advice.
That is precious, because they will say that we're going to be very careful, and then
The reality is
the
different.
reality. Our work is sometimes it reminds me of like a military operation / a building team. So we move a lot, we use heavy equipment, and sometimes we do things that are dangerous, and so that's why you don't want to trust these type of people with something that is very, very precious.
Well, we finish with this kind of punchline. So to every one of you, if you ever plan to shoot a film or work with the filmmakers, then remember not to give them actual historical artifacts, because they might destroy them. But anyway, so most of them were copied, but the location itself was real. And of course, we invite you to watch the movie The Prophet. And again, thank you for staying with us and watching our show.